after we've lost everything, we're free to do anything.
Oh, no, whenever you would step my baby, I know that my mother would never. Raise up, step my back. Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we...
When a man cheats, he conquers a woman. But when a woman cheats, she's being conquered by a man. So if I cheat on you, I've opened my legs to another man, you know, conquering me. So I think it's a little deeper. So, I mean, it is a double standard, but as a woman, if you really love a man, you're not gonna sleep with another man. That's just how I feel.
Become the man of your dreams before you find the woman of yours. Feel me?
That's gonna take some time.
That's why I say you got 15 years. What the fuck you waiting for, man? You ain't even but 20, man. Do you realize I laugh at 20-year-olds? Dude, 10 years ago, you was in the 4th grade. What you rushing to get to the end for? Life is long, bruh. Life is real long.
The majority of men are good men. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the women. If you want a guy that's over 6 foot, that's 15% of men. You want him to be cute, cut that in half. You want him to make money, cut that in half. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the girls. Every girl has a guy in their friend zone that would treat them well, and they know would treat them well, and they know likes them. And it's like, we don't pick them. And then we're gonna cry because the guy we picked is bad to us. But you could have picked the guy in the friend zone.
If a guy keeps getting turned down, eventually the passion will die. Guys want sex a minimum of a couple times a week, and ideally, they want a woman who doesn't have to be asked.
You want sexy time constantly? Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say that, but like I wouldn't write that in a book. They was spitting on that one. I don't know.
If you ask a friend constantly to hang out and they say no, eventually you're gonna be like, fuck, I'm not even gonna ask anymore.
Yeah.
Why do I even bother? You guys already know. You know when guys cheat, they start projecting. You guys start to accuse women like, oh, you're probably doing this. Oh, you're probably doing that. And women can do that too, okay? And I'm not excusing men cheating by any means. But do you want to know how a girl is cheating? Do you want to know a woman's form of projection? Usually, you know, guilt. Guilt. When women cheat, guilt fills them a lot faster than it does men. Men realize that they fucked up once it's too late. Women do realize that they fucked up before they're even doing the fucking act. When she starts to be a sweetheart out of character for her, that girl is hiding something.
I remember when I got divorced 10 years ago, I remember thinking at that time, because people were like, oh yeah, but what about your kids? And I said to that person, I said, yeah, but you know what? If I fast forward 20 years and my kids were now grown, and I asked them and I told them, hey, I stayed in this relationship and I was miserable and I gave up the golden years of my life because I wanted to make you happy, what would their answer be? They'd probably say, no, Dad, you shouldn't have done that. Kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna leave and they're gonna create their own life.
Is it terrifying?
No, I don't think so. It's the way it is, you know. Everything must come to an end. The drip finally stops.
See you on the other side.
I'd genuinely like to know, single men, why you don't pursue anymore? What's up?
See, that's not the question you're actually asking. You're asking, why don't successful men pursue women anymore? Because the piece of shit guys are still pursuing. They're just pursuing hoes. They're going after women who are easy. And every bar in America is filled with those. And as far as successful men, why would we pursue a woman? As you ladies are so fond of saying, you know, when you talk about being an independent woman who pays her own bills, has her own job, has her own place, what does a woman provide that a successful man can't get himself? You ladies love to ask that question of men, so we'll ask the same question to you. How does it benefit us in any way to bring you into our lives? And when you're able to answer that question, when you're able to validate that, maybe then we'll start pursuing you again.
Congratulations, you played yourself. All male attention tastes the same, huh? As long as shorty getting her fix, she gonna feel just fine. What you won't do, some other guy will, but what she fails to understand is that there's a huge difference in the quality of the fix. To be clear, the fix is the three major currencies: attention, validation, and emotional support. Fast food versus a home-cooked meal. She doesn't understand the difference in the value of her fix, and you're about to learn why. She doesn't value you or any man for that matter. She's incapable. If you're curious as to why, look at her relationship with her father. Even if it looks fine, looks can be deceiving. All it takes is a lack of attention, validation, and emotional support during her childhood for her to have these issues, mishandling valuable men throughout her adulthood. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another, simply meaning that her inner child craved and needed that attention, validation, and emotional support from her parents, especially from her father. That craving doesn't just go away. She was desperate for it then, and she's likely still desperate for it now. The lesson here is when her father didn't provide her with enough attention, validation, and or emotional support, what did she do? She sought it from someone else. This is what she does. It's the only way she knows how to do it. She knows of no other way. There's one last thing you need to understand. If this is practically her only operating system, no updates, and she's been doing this since she was a little girl, why should you expect her to treat you any better than she treats her own father? Hypergamy mixed with insecurity is like a runaway train. You cannot control it. Know the game and play it well.
This is a PSA for all the guys out there who are in relationships, coming out of relationships, whatever. Girls will mentally break up with you way before they actually break up with you. This can be due to a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it stems from something as small as just getting the ick. Sometimes it's a big combination of red flags, shitty behavior over time, incompatibility, no longer seeing a future, whatever it is. This could happen 2 to 3 months before she actually breaks up with you. But just know, when that switch goes off, it's over in her head. Like, nothing's the same after that. And I don't really think you can redeem yourself. So just be a good fucking boyfriend.
My eyes. I think my eyes are fine too.
I'll give you an 8.5 because
I'm gonna give you an 8. You like to jump around and do what?
So you gave that other nigga a 7. You know what? You got it. You got it. You gave the nigga a 6. Yeah. All right.
So everyone knows the saying, misery loves company. And it gets pretty obvious at times. Like whenever you see women commenting like bare minimum under a post where a woman is like expressing her happiness at what, her partner is doing. That's why I feel like this oppression Olympics that goes around is just kind of part of that. Everyone wants to be sad. Well, it's not even that everyone wants to be sad, but the sad people, for once they have a larger, louder voice in history. So now these sad people get to project their sadness onto everyone else and make them feel like they're sad too. Some people don't fall for it. But due to shit, like empathy, a lot of people do. That's why, and it's pretty obvious in some of my posts, that's why some women are so adamantly defending it being some kind of issue with society if a man doesn't want a woman with a high body count. It's because they have high body counts and they feel like they're being called out. They're sad, they're miserable because they can't get a good man. And now they want the men who don't want them to also feel bad about not wanting them. It's just little things like here and there. It's kind of sad, IMO.
She wouldn't have dated you back then, but she'll date you now. This is a problem for her, man, since by definition, if she wouldn't have dated you then, that means you're not everything she wants in a man, and that she's willing to date you now simply means she's given up on the men that she actually wanted to date. Think of it the other way around. The men that she actually wants, the men that she dated back then, if he came knocking on her door today, ready to commit or whatever the previous problem was, she'd take it. That's her first choice. Not the man that she would not have dated back then.
Hey, excuse me, I just saw you from across the bar. I wanted to come say hello. What's your name?
Why?
What'd you say? It's hard to hear in here.
I said why.
Oh, I didn't mishear you. Because I want to introduce myself. My name's Brennan.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
You're a pocket full of sunshine, aren't you? You want a drink?
Oh my god, yes, I would love one.
Oh, really? Well, then buy one. Asshole.
get me wrong, I can cook, but I hate when guys ask you, can you cook? Because can you build a house?
There's no way you think that question makes sense. There is no way you believe in your brain that question makes sense. A cook, bro.
If you want men to give you everything you want, you have to manipulate them.
How many men were around us? How many cars have stopped here? See us like this.
Out of all the men who stopped at that gas station, how many of them would have considered that their problem? You're not entitled to anybody's time just because they got a penis. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. There should not be a world in which we're vilifying men for minding their own business. Like, that just baffles me. And if you need help, there's no problem with going up to somebody to ask. Not only do you have a cell phone in your hand, which is a library for infinite knowledge, you can learn anything you want to in the span of 15 minutes. You could also call someone you know if you really needed help. But sitting around whining about random motherfuckers who are minding their business, like, what are we really doing here?
Hey, now. Slow down, all right?
I'm right there, nigga. I'm right there, nigga.
3 things I know at 45 that I wish I knew at 20. Number 1, getting laid is not a big deal. What's respectable is having dick discipline. How many mistakes have we known other guys make, whether it be a kid or disease they carry for the rest of their life because they were careless with what they were doing? Discipline is far more respectable than being promiscuous. Number 2, I would have dedicated the entire decade of my 20s for myself. Being in a relationship is overrated. Getting married is overrated. Imagine what you could accomplish if you vested all your energy to yourself for 10 years. What you could become. Number 3, keep your circle of friends incredibly small. You'd be surprised how many of your lifelong friends or true friends you think you have will betray you and stab you in the back when times get rough or their opportunity shows itself. Keep your circle at a maximum 3 to 4, but that's it. Do not allow anybody into your world or tell them your plans, because people will steal them from you.